Okay, so for your team project, uh, you're going to go to this company, and we've got two examples here. We're going to go to Mocha, and we're going to go to the Mercedes Service Center. We want to go there, and we want to evaluate their total quality management principles, and to see what extent they are implemented, and maybe provide an overall analysis of what they are doing, and maybe provide some recommendations for the company to improve their total quality. Okay, and we're looking at total quality management perspective. So what we will do first is we're going to develop some sort of a customer survey. And in the customer survey, we want to check how satisfied customers are, check online for good customer survey samples in this industry. So if we're going to do this Mercedes car, then for we're doing Mercedes cars for their service center, right? So we will go search on the internet on what's a good survey for customers in a service center for a car. Okay, so maybe we will find some survey in some other countries, or maybe we will find something that is official Mercedes, or maybe we will find some other competitor survey. Okay, but the objective is to get customer satisfaction. For Mocha, maybe you want to search for companies, the bakeries, customer service, customer satisfaction surveys. Okay, and then we're going to make it one-page question. And once we make this survey, maybe you are going to share it with me so I can look at it before you do it. And then you go and you ask maybe 10 people, more or less, customers. And you get a feel of customer satisfaction. And you will also do interview with these customers to see if they believe that the business is providing quality services and products. So you will do the survey, and when you do the survey, maybe you can do few interviews where you ask them, what do you think of this? Do you feel that they take care of you as a customer? Do you believe you are the company is focusing on you as a customer? This way you will get a feedback about the customer satisfaction component. Now you will also going to do an employee survey in the same way. You're going to see how satisfied, motivated employees are, and you will check online customer for employee satisfaction surveys, and you will ask 10 employees, maybe do an interview with them, and you want to check motivation, their spirit. Do they work hard? Do they have good teams? Do they have do they feel that they're achieving and awarded? So the things we talked about in this chapter about employee involvement. So one of the questions that you want to make sure in your survey: are you empowered? Are you motivated? Do you see? And do you take care of quality? So those are like the main three questions. Now, of course, you want to search, because every industry they can be a little bit different in terms of what it means. So maybe for Mercedes car uh, service centers, maybe you want to ask them about, do they get training on the latest Mercedes models? Okay. If for Mocha, maybe you want to ask them, do you have a say in the new products? Because they do have a lot of new products in Mocha. So do they participate in new products? Maybe you want to ask their salespeople, if customer come complain, can you give them a replacement immediately or not? Things like that. And then you're going to want to check the leadership commitment. Leadership commitment, maybe leadership commitment, we can put it here, number one. Leadership commitment, it's you want to go and talk to the leaders, the manager, the big boss, the owner, the office manager, the branch manager, the center manager. You want to check the leadership, and this is going to be more like an interview. You will go and ask, do you are you involved in quality programs? Do you have any quality programs? How do you ensure quality? Do you have a quality council? Do you have a quality department? Is there someone responsible for quality? Like many products you see on the back, there's a sticker that says QC, quality check, and then by someone. So you want to ask the leadership, what do you do for quality? Okay. And the important answers will be, we are fully committed to quality. And then you ask them, what do you do? So they start to tell you, for example, we ask customers or we take care of employees. Whatever they tell you, you just write it down, and that will be their answers. Okay, then you're going to evaluate is this enough or not enough. So after you do this leadership interview, the customer survey, the employee survey, you want to do a process check. So this is more process like check. Here, you want to go see, okay? Visit, check yourself. You know, the key word here is you observe. Maybe this is like the key word. So you observe some sort of a process or operation. So let's say, for example, you go to Muka, you sit there, and when you sit there, you want to check, let's see the cashier. Okay, cashier takes them, ring them up, put them in a bag, get the money, get the change, go out. You will see this, you see it, let's say 10 times. Now, this is like one process. After you see this process, you observe it, you will document it. So you will write, this is how they do the process. Every time they do it the same or not. And then maybe your feedback. Maybe you provide some suggestion to improve this process. Okay. So maybe you look at them and you suggest that maybe they need to maybe have two more cashiers, or maybe you advise them to have something for the bags because the bag, takes a long time, or maybe customers, there should be if you sit there for 10 minutes or you see 10 customers, probably there will be some sort of a problem. Then you document this problem that happened and you provide some solution. The idea is you are able to see a process. Maybe in a Mercedes service center, you see customers, they come, they change their oil. So you see how the process works. Then you see one oil change, second oil change, third oil change. Then maybe you'll be able to provide some sort of recommendation for improvement. Okay. So here, you will need to go there and see. This way you can provide an understanding. And then here, suppliers, you're going to interview them. Do you have suppliers? How many? Do you choose based on price or quality? And are these suppliers certified or not? Okay. So maybe you want to ask, let's say for Mocha, who are the suppliers? So they get flour, they get wheat, they get cream, they get butter. Where do they get them?
You need the name of the supplier or what?
Well, you want to. Well, the idea is, remember when we talked about suppliers? And we looked at, do they have one? Do they have many? Do they choose on quality? How long have they been working with? So we want to evaluate their supplier relationship. Okay. Maybe they have 1,000 suppliers. Maybe you focus on the top supplier or just on 2 suppliers. You don't go through all of their suppliers. Okay. And then we need to have some performance measures. This is another interview question. Ask them what are their performance measurements. Do they have a GPA? Do they have an NPL? Do they have a PRS? Do they have a... You see, so there's a lot of examples of performance measurements. So that's what you want to ask them, if they have any performance measurements. Maybe before you go, you search on the internet, what are the performance measurements that are related to your industry? So performance measurements for Mocha bakery services or products can be a lot different than performance measurements for service centers for cars. So you want to check that. And then you will write the final report presentation. This is what you will do. Introduction, your team, background of the company, quality overview, customer satisfaction evaluation, employee motivation evaluation, the process that you observe. Maybe you take pictures, and maybe you provide some examples of maybe they should have a queue system. Maybe they don't have a cameras. Maybe they can improve equipment. Maybe you suggest a new equipment to improve that process. And then suppliers, you can evaluate. They are single, sole, multiple, based on quality. How's their time, the delivery, the price? Do they have Have they visited them? Are they certified? Any certification? And then performance measurements. How do they measure the performance? What metrics? There should be some sort of metrics like numbers. And then you can talk about if they benchmark, do they have ISO certification, any alternative places for future quality, and then conclusions and recommendations. So that's your project overview.